sucker. Shane McMahon, who came back to the Royal Rumble at the 28th spot on Saturday in St. Louis. Hadn't seen Shane on television since WrestleMania last year, I believe, in the cage match with Braun Strowman. He came back. There are the reports, whatever. But now it seems as though Shane's run with the company, at least as a talent, on-screen talent, is over. At least according to reports, which, how accurate are they? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's what's being said. I don't know what happened with Shane or what have you, but if this is it for Shane McMahon, let's just say, what do you think his legacy is in the WWE? Or what do you most remember from him?
Well, let me say this first. Let me say this. I don't think we should. I think we're jumping the gun here, honestly. I don't think we should be having a conversation whether we're going to see Shane McMahon in a WWE ring or arena doing something again. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I just think Shane McMahon will be doing something with WWE in the future in some capacity. Okay, let's just say that. As far as the Rumble goes, let's just, I know a lot of people out there, wondering, what, Booker T thinks about this. I do know that there are pieces missing from putting that Rumble together like it was put together before. One of those guys is Triple H. Hunter was always around when it came down to, making sure the pieces were in the right places when that kind of stuff was going on, angles, whatnot. So I can only imagine what was the process of trying to get that Rumble together and make everything, come together from a storyline perspective. Had to be a madhouse. I don't even want to pretend that, I'm one of the cooks in the kitchen and know anything. Okay. So let's just get that straight. But I do know Shane McMahon is, not being one of the superstars on the show, has always been one of the hardest workers. And I do know also that the talent back in the day, we always looked at Shane McMahon as one of the boys. Okay, we really did. But I do know something also that all of those guys that Shane McMahon was in the locker room with back in the day, I don't know if any of them are still in the ring.
Wow.
In WWE.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Okay, so I'm sure, it might have been, some friction. I don't know, or anything like that. But I do know things change, and I do know, just like, say, for instance, I've said something about these young guys on the internet. Immediately they respond. So you can't tick them off. Is what I'm saying. So, but I do think we'll see Shane McMahon in a WWE ring. I don't want to get to the point there as far as what was his legacy and that.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to respond on that, just to give my take.
Let me ask you this, just talking about Shane, because you and him were paired up together when you came into WWE on television, at least. Do you remember the first time you met Shane or a conversation y'all had about that run?
I don't remember like any specific conversations or anything like that, but I just know Shane and I was, we was just tight. Like I say, he wasn't one of those kids that was the rich kid, the son of the boss, and everybody hated him, or everybody was just, kissing up to him because he was the boss's son or anything like that. No, Shane was, really one of the boys. I remember Knobs and Sags telling the story where they had to babysit him one time, and Vince got so mad when they found out the Nasty Boys was, looking out for him, but he was just one of the boys. I remember I got downstairs, I got some bookends that Shane gave me, and he gave them to me in a promo, and I go, what are these? He goes, they're bookends for your books. So Shane and I, we always had a really, really cool relationship from a perspective that I never looked at him like the boss. Always just looked at him as like one of the boys who was the boss's son. I don't know if you could, kind of like separate the two, but for me, he never came off to me like, there again, I was working for him.
He for me, when I was a kid, I really loved him character wise. The way he come out, the song, the little dance that he do, where he do his arm like this. He always had the Jordans on. You know what I mean? Shane was cool. And then you always knew if Shane McMahon was going to be in a match, this guy was going to do something crazy. Yeah. That's why I remember when he came back at Dallas in Mania 32 against Taker. As soon as they made it a Hell in a Cell match, everybody goes, Shane's jumping off the cell. Like everybody knew he was going to do it. And it was just a matter of when, not if. And I remember him jumping off of that cell. And I was sitting in the crowd and I just saw it happen. And it's one of the most unexplainable things to me from a guy who was nearing 50 at the time. He was probably like 47, 46, 47, 48, somewhere in that range, whose dad owns the company. There's no reason he has to do this, but something isn't right with those McMahons. Vince, I remember, took a bump off a cage one time and broke his tailbone, going through a table.
Yeah.
Something's not right with them.
No, I don't get it. Being the boss's son, not having that, and that's a proving thing too. And he's got to be trying to prove something to not only himself, but to his dad as well as the boys. I'm willing to put myself out there and go just as far as you guys are for the show, for the sake of the business. So Vince was one of those guys too. Vince was always a guy that was willing to get in the ring and not just talk about it. He was willing to go out and represent the company. And I get a little bit of that from Vince McMahon with reality of wrestling, going out there and like right now, put my boots on and say, hey man, I got to get in there and do a tag match with one of my guys just to show that, hey, I'm still part of the crew. I don't ever want to be that far away from being one of the boys to where I can't understand what they're thinking. To where I'm outside of the realm of being able to understand exactly what they might be going through. And I think once I get to that spot right there, it's time to totally vacate.
Yeah. Just thinking about, though, some of these crazy moments. You remember when Shane, I saw them talking about in the chat, Daniel just said it in the chat. You remember when Shane took that bump through the King of the Ring glass with Kurt Angle?
Yeah, Kurt Angle, yeah. That right there, that's an iconic moment. When he jumped off the stage to Tron. Remember that one? That was higher than any of them that he did. So my thing is he's definitely proven himself as being one of the boys that we respect as one of the guys. So I think his career is solidified. I don't think he has to do anything else to actually make that happen. But I'm just saying I do think we'll see Shane McMahon inside of WWE. I don't know what the reports are really all about. I don't know exactly what went down at the Rumble. But I'm sure more is going to be coming out.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally, if you go to a different website, they all have a different report of what happened. And
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I mean, this just happened, and I don't want to speculate on it. But when I saw the headline that Shane McMahon was let go, like he was Mustafa Ali. Somebody, so that made me like go, wait a minute. Isn't he like part owner? Don't he got some style? Ain't his name McMahon? That's what I'm thinking, because I don't care. If my dad got a job, I got one.
I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, I feel you.
Am I right or wrong? You know,
I feel you.
You know, I mean, come on here. My dad got a job. I got a job. So yeah, I'm cool on that.
Can you dig it, sucker?